Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of Python Unleashed. My name is Ajay and today's topic is we are going to learn about hierarchical inheritance. So as you can see the figure in front of you, there is a class A, and from class A we have two classes, that is class B and class C. Okay, so B and C are both inherited from class A. So such a scenario we will call it as a hierarchical inheritance, where multiple base classes have a single multiple subclasses will have a single base class. So this is the base class and these are the subclasses. So multiple subclasses will have a single base class. Okay, so that's hierarchical inheritance. So we are going to take this particular example to implement this practically. Now there is a class that we had implemented in my previous tutorial. So this is a class which is student class, and student have basic informations like registration number, the roll number, name, class and section. And then we have the member functions to accept the data and to display the data. Okay, and then what we will do is from this class we will inherit one more class, that is the class result. Now this was also one of the example that I took for the single inheritance, where from one class we are inheriting the another class, and we had implemented the class student, and from that class we had inherited the class result. So over here also we will implement the same scenario, that is result, which will have the subjects of that particular student. So we will accept the data for all these subjects and then we will display the data. Then we will have a new class, that is class fees, in which we will have the details of the students and what was the fees or for which month he is paying the fees. All the fee details we are going to handle in this particular class. So you can see that the result and the class result and the class fees both are inherited from the class student. Why? Because for result also we require the basic information of the student, and also for the class fees we need the basic informations of the student, isn't it? So this is what we are going to implement. So let us just switch to Python now. So here is a typed code already, and we need to type few more codes over here, few more lines of code. So let me just explain this now. The diagram that I had shown you. So this is the class student and these are the object variables. Okay, that is registration number, the roll number, the name, class and section. And then you can see that these are the member functions, that is enter and display. In enter we'll be accepting data from the user, and simply we will have the display function to simply display the data. So these are the two member functions and these are the object variables of the class student. Then the class gets end over here and we are starting a new class, that is the class result, and the result, that is the derived class, since it has been inherited from the class student. Okay, so over here will be have the object variables, that is the subjects, name of the subjects, and then again we have the enter and display, where we are going to accept data for the subjects, that are the marks for a particular student, and then we will display the marks. And then at the last we have one more class, that is the class fees, and you can see that even this particular class has been inherited from the base class, that is class student. So fees and result both are inherited from the class student. So this is hierarchical inheritance. And then we have the object variables, that is the annual fee, monthly fee and extra activity. Okay, so these are the details we are going to accept from the user using the member functions, that is enter, and then we are going to display the data. Now you can see that I have overridden the function, that is enter and display, since this enter and display has the same name in the base class also, enter and display. So I can say that I have overridden the functions, that is enter and display. Okay, so that's it. This is the scenario. Now next thing that we need to do is we need to evoke the constructor of the base class, since this is a fees and this is the constructor, that is the init function, and already I have typed the code. You can see that by this particular statement we are evoking the constructor of the base class. So I have used the super function, and that's the syntax, that the super function the superclass of the class result, and then pass the reference of self and then the init, and I don't require this out here. Okay, that's it. So I'm evoking the constructor of the base class. Always remember, if it's a derived class, so it is up to the user to evoke the constructor or the init function of the base class. Okay, so I'm doing that with this particular statement out here, and the same statement I need to have in this particular class also, that is class result. So I've done my duty. I've just evoked, I'm just had this line of code by which I'll be evoking the constructor of the base class. Okay, so by these two statements I've achieved that. Now let us just create an object of class. For example, if I have to generate a result, so in that case I'll be generating a result by using the object variable a of class result, isn't it? So this is the object variable a, which is the object of class result, that is this one. Okay, and then simply I can just have a dot, and then now for accepting the basic details of the students, first I need to accept the basic details of the students. For that, and since I have just overridden this function, that is enter and display from the base class, and so if I have to evoke the function of the base class, so how should I do that? So simply I will use the name of the class, that is student dot a, and then I will student dot, and I will say enter function, and then I will pass the object variable a. So I'll be collecting all the data, the basic details of the students in this particular object, and then what I will do is I will just okay, before displaying the basic details, I will also accept the basic details of the, or I can simply use, I don't need to use result out here, I can simply use the object variable a dot enter. Why? Because this is the class, this is the derived class, and I don't need to use the class name out here, because a dot enter, when I say a dot enter, it will evoke its own function, right? But then to evoke the function of the student, that is the enter function, I need to use the name of the class dot the name of the function and then pass that object. Okay, so over here I've accepted the details of the students, and then I will accept the marks of the student, and then one by one I will display the data, that is student dot, I will say display and the object a, and for result I just need to use the object, that is a dot, and simply I will use display. That's it. Okay, so let us run this code and see whether it works or not. If there are any errors, we will get rid of that. So we have one error, that is positional argument name. Now there is some, okay, this is the code. I don't require name out here. This was the previous tutorial, we had this code, and we also don't require it over here. Okay, let us just run this again now, and here it is. Registration number is 1, roll number is 1, I give the name as Ajay, class as 10, and section as A, and then the marks, that is 45, 67, 78, 90, and 90, and here it is, and we have displayed the data, that is the basic details of the students and the marks of the students, isn't it? Now if I have to accept the data for the fees, so I will simply use, replace this with the class name, that is fees dot enters. Since we have just overriding that function over here, the name of the functions are same, so I have to use the class name fees dot enter, and then I pass that particular object, and then I need to create a new object of class fees out here. Rest of the things will remain the same as it is. Okay, now let us just run this code and see the output. Okay, there is an error, that is result.self init. Okay, must be an instance of subtype. So let me just see the code. If there is any error, a is equal to fees, and okay, the mistake that we have done over here is I need to have the word that is fees, right? Because the superclass of fees is the base class, that is student. So I need to specify over here that is fees, and that was the error. Now let us run this code, that is enter the annual fee. Okay, I don't need the annual fee first, I need the basic details of the students. So I'll just check the code again. That is fees dot enter, and okay, I made a mistake. I need student over here, isn't it? Student dot enter, that's the basic details of the students, and then I will accept the fees. Okay, now let us run this for one more time. Now it is working fine. The registration number 1, class, the roll number as 12, name as Ajay, and class as 10, section as A. And now you can see it is asking me the details of the fee, right? Annual fee, I'll give something like this. Then monthly fee, maybe 2500, and then extra activity as 500, and that's it. Okay, and here it is, we have the details. Now the details have not displayed properly. Now this is because I need to have again over here as student, and one more time, and this is the last time that we will run this program. 1, roll number as 1, name as Ajay, class as 8, section as B, and these are the annual fee, the monthly fee, and the extra activity fee. And here it is, the details of the basic details of the students and the details of the fee. Okay, so this is how you can have hierarchical inheritance. And always remember that be very careful about the the method overriding technique. Okay, but if you have the same function name, so how you're supposed to use or evoke the methods of the base class, and this is how you can do it. Okay, so that's it for today. Bye for now.